like me, you get to cover news stories from Africa often and you have to follow this news coming out of Africa often, many times you feel exhausted and you wonder what our leaders doing or what is going on in Africa here or what can we do to change. So these are the kinds of thoughts you are bombarded with regularly. But every so often a news comes out here and there that is very inspiring and lets you know that Africa is not a lost case. Africa can actually be fixed because you are seeing a lot of countries and a lot of leaders you know taking respectable stands in the benefits of their country, respective countries, and the continent at large. And one such situation just took place in Botswana this week. Actually, it really rounded off yesterday. When I'm recording this video, it happened yesterday. So after 58 years in power, the Botswana Democratic Party has been kicked out of power. I'm not saying that in itself is a good or a bad thing. I'm saying the fact that a political party that has been in power since independence for 58 years, almost 60 years, a political party such as that should already be ingrained in the institution, the people can decide to vote them out and it will be recognized. It will happen. Shows you that in several African countries, good things are really do taking place. Now, I don't know the situation in Botswana. I don't know the situation in Botswana for a very long time. But one thing I do know is that Botswana's major source of income has been diamonds. The country is rich in diamonds, but not just diamonds. It's rich in jewelry grade diamonds. Many of the many of the diamonds that sell for record numbers on the global stage and are used to make some of the most beautiful high jewelry in the world comes from Botswana. So Botswana has used its diamonds to make itself prosperous. I think Botswana is now a middle income country. I think so. But anyway, recently, for a few years now, on a global scale, the diamond market has been experiencing a downturn. So things have been going downward for the diamond market. And of course, as you expect, this has affected the economy of Botswana. So I'm suspecting that this is probably the reason why the people of Botswana said enough. We want to check something else and want to try a new political party. So as we speak and we do this video, the Botswana Democratic Party has been kicked out of office. The people of Botswana kicked them out of office and a new political party has come into power. That makes the president-elect of Botswana, as we speak, Duma Boko. Why I say this is a good thing is not whether Boko coming to power is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not talking about that. But what I want to say, what is the good thing for me is that the people of Botswana can vote and the votes will be recognized. So these elections of Botswana have shown that Africa is not a lost case, particularly with elections, because for several decades, whenever you're hearing elections are taking place in Africa, you're hearing it's things like vote suppression, violence, destruction, thuggery, they're burning, they're looting, they're killing people, all in the name of elections. And after the perpetrators of this thing come into power, the situation is terrible. Like as we speak now, as we are celebrating what Botswana conducted free and fair elections. Because the BDP, that's the Botswana Democratic Party, you've been in power for 58 years. Of course, they should have political thuggery and things like this to be able to twist things in their favor and rig the elections and the votes in their favor. But they didn't do it. They're in a position to make sure another party doesn't come into power. But that didn't happen. It didn't happen. Instead, we have a new party and a new president. As we speak now, as we are celebrating what's going on in Botswana, we are seeing the status quo in several African countries as we speak. So, for example, Mozambique just had its elections. Since he had its elections some weeks, it's just a few days now, based on when I'm recording this. But there's been protests that the election, the kind of protests you see after elections in Africa, in several African countries, protests in Mozambique that has led to the deaths of several people. As we speak, Mauritania is going to have elections soon, in a few weeks' time. The government has banned social media access in the country ahead of the elections. So people cannot share their opinion via social media. People cannot share what's going on if anything happens in the elections. Even the same Mozambique has banned social media access in its country because of the protests. So this kind of suppression of the voice of the people in the name of election doesn't make any sense. Like There are some things that Africa we should be bigger than certain things by now. You must not be president. You must not be in power. I know that that sounds funny to several people, like because they are going to be like, power is the ultimate thing. But what is the point of power, of having power, if it only leads to the destruction of your people? It is a tyrant who will burn his country to the ground just to rule over the rubble. If you are not bringing anything to the table, please get out. Let the people who actually want to work come into work. We see this kind of thing in several African countries. The leader will cause chaos. Somebody will cause chaos just to get into office. And once the person gets into office, they never even work in the interest of the country. Instead, they are focused on pandering to external players. As if that is not bad enough. This week, we've also seen Guinea. In Guinea, the government has banned over 60, is it 50 or 60 political parties? Ban it, so say get out. That's what the government literally did. And then the main opposition party has put it on over under supervision or surveillance. Like what is this? Like what, like sometimes like what kind of behavior is this? You ban political parties. You then put the opposition party. No, so the opposition party is important because the opposition party can be a voice to call out, apart from the media and the people also, but opposition party can be a voice within politics to call out some bad moves of the government in power. It can serve as check and balance. But putting the opposition party under surveillance, throwing your political opponents in jail, causing chaos in your country just because you want to rule, should be telltale signs that whoever is doing this thing is going to work in the to the disadvantage of the country. So that's why I said what just happened, these elections that just took place in Botswana, is a breath of fresh air. You know, you like to see things like this. I want to congratulate the people of Botswana, not just for voting and getting, because first of all, I want to say that it's what's the word? It's empowering to see that your vote actually counts. Because Nigeria, we just experienced one in 2023 where a lot of people said the person who came into power is not the person that was generally requested for by the masses. But we are not going into that. So it's refreshing to see when you speak with your vote and you say that your vote counts. So I'm really happy for the people of Botswana about this development in the country, and it shows that Africa is not a lost cause. Really, things like this make you so happy that yes, we can fix this country, this continent, we can fix our respective countries, we can fix our political institutions, our economic institutions, our media institutions, our people. We can do this thing because Botswana just showed us that this thing is possible. After 58 years in power, a political party will say, yes, we are going to step aside and let the will of the people take place. This is so amazing. Congratulations to the people of Botswana. Then, so having said that, let us now, I want to talk about a few things of based on what I was able to find online of the president-elect of Botswana, Duma Boko. So first of all, he's a lawyer. He's a Harvard-trained lawyer, and this is his third time of contesting for presidency. This is the third time, and then he won this one. I think at one point he had to create like a coalition of different political parties to make this particular party. So other than that, one of the things that he said during campaign is that he wants to increase. I wrote this down. He said that he wants to increase social stipends. Now, like I said, I'm not saying whether or not he's going to be a good president for Botswana. I don't know that. We're going to be able to decide based once he come into power and he begins to implement his policies. But one of the policies that caught my attention is that he said he wants to increase social stipends for the people of Botswana. Now, my question is, how do they intend to get that money? Because I know that Botswana is, like I said earlier, Botswana is its economy is based around diamonds, and since like 4 years now, the diamond industry has been no, three, a few years now. I'm not sure the exact number, but the diamond industry has been experiencing a downtime. So that means the more the diamond industry goes down, the less money Botswana has. So I don't know where he wants to get that the money that he wants to use to now increase the social stipends. I don't know where he wants to get that money from, but let us see. I think I saw in a place that he said he wants to increase. He wants to recitate this. I'll find it and put it on the screen. But it's a mining government-owned mining corporation in Botswana that engages in mining of things like copper and the rest. So it's not diamond mining now. So I'm suspecting he probably wants to raise money from exploring the mining and the processing of other mineral resources in Botswana, like copper. Okay. Now, another thing I want to mention is that he said that he wants to conclude the sales pact with the Bears. So, Botswana and the Bears have been involved in a partnership. Well, the government, even this last, even Masisi's government, this outgoing president, the Masisi's government has been trying to renegotiate the terms of that. In the state, Botswana has 25%, while the Bears takes 75. So they've been working on it and discussing to change the terms of that agreement to increase to 50% over the course of the next decade. So this president now, Duma Bonko, has said he wants to speed up that discussion so that they can now conclude the discussion and move on to other things. But one thing is really important to me is his foreign policy, because Botswana does not exist in a vacuum. Botswana is a part of an international community. So his foreign policy is going to be very important to me. Sadly, I've not been able to see a foreign policy stand from some of the interviews I watched or some of the comments I read that he made. I've not seen a foreign policy stand, but once he comes into power and he implements his policies, we can see where he would lean. But I know that he used to be a communist. According to reports I saw, he has moved more to the center. So it's no longer like far flung, far left communist. He has moved more to the center. So if he has a history of communism, it means, I'm not sure, this is me speculating, but I'm thinking it means he's going to have a favorable stand with China. But like I said, I'm not sure until he comes in and implements his policies and we see his actions. That is where when we can say what we are going to say. But one thing I've also noticed is that a lot of media outlets, even Western media outlets, are really painting him in a very favorable light. I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying some of the things that I have noticed. Until he comes in and he implements his policy, we cannot say where he's going to stand. That is President Duma Bonko is going to stand on foreign policy, whether he's going to lean to, more towards the east or he's going to lean towards more towards the west. But if I'm going to make any speculation, I think that he's not going to be different from the BDP under Masisi. I think he's going to take the same stand. Generally, maybe a slight changes here and there, but I think in a general scale, the foreign policy of Botswana is not going to change. It's going to stay almost the same as it has stayed under the BBD, under the BDP, that is the Botswana Democratic Party. Again, I want to say very big congratulations to the people of Botswana, because few things can be so empowering as voting, and you see that your vote counts. That means your voice is heard. So congratulations to the people of Botswana who has chosen President Duma Bonko to be the new president of the amazing country of Botswana. Let me know what you think about the development in Botswana in the comment section below. And what do you think about the new president? Do you know some things about his foreign policy that I may not have known? Maybe you're even from Botswana. Please share if you're from Botswana. Let me know. Are there some comments he has made for us to be able to say, okay, this is where his government is going to lean, whether to the east or to the west? Or do you think, like I suspect, he's going to follow the same foreign policy of the outgoing government? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with your friends so that we can celebrate what just happened in Botswana, that the votes and the voices of the people were heard.